Are you ready for a good chat? Go on and tune in to the Go On Men podcast. It's your place to go with your host, David GSA Wrestling, and co-host, Ryan Iconic Shadows.
And we're back with the Go On Men podcast, episode 42. We are talking about WWE. Obviously, there's been stuff coming out, and also we're going to talk about who we think should be pushed from WWE, AEW, and TNA, or Impact Wrestling as they're called now. I am your host, David GSA Wrestling. My dog in the background is being a twat. And yep, there's only me on my own, so let's go on with it. There's Sasha Banks, and apparently Sasha Banks is fully been released by WWE, so I've seen from some accounts. Obviously Naomi's broke her silence as well a little bit, and has posted a video on, I think, Twitter, so we'll keeping a track of that if anything comes out, but apparently they're both suspended, permanently, indefinitely, and it looks like they're going to get released at some point. The tag team tournament for the WWE Women's Tag Team belts, it looks like it's not happening because they announced it literally as they released them, and it's been about 4 weeks and they've still not started it, so it looks like the women's tag team division is dead. But to be honest, there's not that many tag teams at the minute anyway in WWE to do the tag team tournament. Let's start with the latest news. Apparently speculation is coming out that Vince McMahon is in trouble, and that it's all kicking off, and obviously apparently now I found out in the last 24 hours that apparently Vince McMahon and Linda McMahon have split up. Obviously this would tie in with Stephanie McMahon leaving the company and taking a break, but apparently as of now, I've just read this, don't know how true it is, it could be just speculation, Vince McMahon is stepping down as the chairman of the board for WWE, and Stephanie McMahon is taking over as the chairman of the board for WWE. Obviously take that with a pinch of salt, I don't know how relatable that is, but yeah, hopefully we don't know what the crack is, but we never know. So let's talk about who we think. We'll start with WWE. While we're on WWE and we're on a run, let's do it. WWE, who deserves a push. Obviously Cody Rhodes should have got a push in WWE. Nobody would doubt that with what he's been putting in, but obviously with the torn pectoral muscle, he is now out for 9 months potentially. We could see him in 7, you know what I mean? They always say 9 months, but you know some of them have come back before that, but considering he tore his pec muscle and then still carried on with Hell in a Cell, fucking trooper, and as soon as he comes back he deserves a WWE Championship shot. Apparently they've dropped Edge from the group that he was in because they're going to put him back as a babyface and push him as a champion, as a contender for the championship. Obviously I don't think he'll knock Roman off. I feel like Roman's going to hold this now till WrestleMania, and take on Dwayne The Rock Johnson for the championship. That if Roman wins, obviously he will cement that he is your tribal chief and is the head of the table for the family. Also on top of that, we have I feel like AJ Styles should get a push at some point as a champion. Again, AJ obviously did the thing with Omos, and I think that was disgusting. AJ should have been left as a solo wrestler. He's one of the best in the company by far. For his age and the legacy he has, is a champion all day long. Also for the women's, I think who will push as a woman champion, to be honest, because obviously we've got Becky and Asuka, Bianca Belair for the Raw, and SmackDown Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair. Bayley could come back and push for the championship potentially. I'm trying to think of anybody else really. See, there's not that many who I would class as a threat for the brand, or potentially pushing it. NXT, there's no big star to be like, oh well, you know what I mean. And Mandy Rose is in probably the best place and the best career move she's in with NXT, so I can't see her dropping it and coming to Raw because she just gets lost in the shuffle again. Same with SmackDown. I don't know, potentially trying to think, there's nobody really a threat, is there? So I mean, the women's division's pretty dead on Raw. You only got like 5 stars who were classed as big threats. Because I'd say Carmella's a joke. Liv could be one day, but she's not the. I don't know. Shorty Blackheart isn't there. You know what I mean? There's no legitimate threat. Oh, Alexa potentially, but with what they've done with her, I can't see it being a threat. But yeah, to be honest, the men's is more relatable. I feel like it shows a lot that they made Roman champion on both shows, and they've done it with the Usos, showing that like they've got nobody who they can push. And rather than like showing that they've got nobody who they can push, they push the championships together to make it seem like, oh, well, now you've got threats on both shows, and realistically, there's not that many people who can be classed as a threat to Roman Reigns. And obviously, the Usos are one of the best tag teams. The only people who could really threaten them are the New Days, and they've done fuck all with the New Day for a while. So let's move on to AEW. See, AEW's got so many threats. You've got CM Punk, who obviously is injured. You've got Dean Ambrose, or John Moxley as it's called, Kenny Omega, not Jungle Boy, the guy with the face paint. I'm trying to think what his piss's name is. I can't think of his name. Oh, Darby Allin. Orange Cassidy. You've got, like, they've built up the brand so that, like, there's a lot of threats for the championship. And yeah, it shows that AEW give a shit about the next person who's coming up, or giving people shots every so often. Purely because obviously if they didn't, then we'd have nobody pushing them brands and basically fucking showing what they've been doing. I don't know if there's anybody for the women. I've said this: Ember Moon should have been signed by AEW. Dakota Kai should have been signed by AEW. Like them names who WWE's let go, who I would class as top stars in some aspect, and they've still not seen the vision in WWE's not seen the vision in them. I feel like AEW should jump on them and bring up the women's division more to a higher, because I feel like the men's is perfect in AEW. You've got like Christine, you've got other threats, but like the female side, there's only really like Britt Baker, Ruby Soho. Do you know what I mean? Like there's only like certain people. Tony Storm. I feel like if they bring up the women's division, AEW is going to be a tank and a real threat to WWE over all brands. You know what I mean? I think Vince will be kicking himself when he sees if he's in Ruby Riot and they got Kai on AEW. I think Vince will be kicking himself. Let's move on to Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling, obviously being the brand that it is amazing. I would say, like, Impact, I don't really watch Impact, but like since they've done a shuffle, it seems to be like they're trying to come back, and I don't think they'll ever be the same as AEW and WWE. I feel like WWE and AEW are the big brands. Impact is sort of like plotting along, trying to keep up with them. I could be wrong. If you're an Impact fan, fucking message me. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of difference between being a good show and a mediocre show, and Impact's a mediocre show, it's not a bad show. Let's think. I'm trying to think what to talk about. Give me 2 seconds, I'll just pause and I will go and have a look if we've got any other subjects we could talk about. I'll tell you what, we can talk about what I've been watching. Obviously I watched Stranger Things Series 4, oh my god. When it went, I was like, oh you motherfuckers. Yeah, I've been watching that, oh my god. There's apparently one more season of it. It has been really, really, really fucking good. And yeah, I think it's been really good. I've also been watching Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan, the force is strong in you. I've been watching that. That's really good. Disney Plus, if you've not seen it, really good. It ties a lot of the story together from the two movies. Like, obviously, there was a big gap of like, oh well, how did that work? It's sort of tying it all up and making it a better movie overall. Really, really fucking good. Trying to think. Oh, I've been watching the new Miss Marvel. I've only watched one episode. I've got another one to catch up on. I've been watching that. That's been alright. Very interesting to see where they were going. I didn't know if I'd be a fan. I'm still a bit iffy about it. Yep. It's one of those programs where, as a Marvel fan, I didn't know if I could get behind it, but it's not too bad. We'll see what happens. I could also talk about that. I've been watching The Orville. Really good program. I've watched that for 3 seasons. One of the best programs I've ever seen for comedy plus space. It's crazy, and if that is the last season, that there is a rumour this is the last season of Orville. It'll be a shame because I really do think like the story's funny. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Trying to think. My brain is not working. I don't think I've got anything else. Let me think. I've never been sat there trying to ponder whether you, because you watched that much shit the last couple of days. I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else I've watched. I feel it's just not coming to me, so it couldn't have been that fucking interesting. Oh, we could talk about Jurassic World. Obviously, I played Jurassic World Evolution 2. Shout out to Jurassic World. They put DLC in the other day that is from the new movie Jurassic World. That apparently is the worst film out of the 3. Really boring. It was too much action. There was no plot to the story from the rumours or the reviews from other companies. Yeah, the DLC's been alright, to be honest. I've played probably about an hour and a half. It's been alright. I've enjoyed playing it. I think that is it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can talk about. Trying to think. See, this is the one where, like, it's hard sometimes when you're on your own. No, I think that's it. Yep, I will see you all in a bit. I have been your host, David GSA Wrestling. This has been the Go On Them podcast, episode 42, I think I said. Thank you so much for listening, and hopefully you enjoyed this episode, and we will see you next week for hopefully a more interesting one. This has been about 40 minutes long, and yep, enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you next Friday. Peace.
Did you enjoy our little chat? If so, why not drop a like? And if you want to see more, why not hit the subscribe button?